guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my final recap of season 2 of Love After Lockup. This is episode 14, From Prison Blues to Wedding Bells. And really that only goes towards one couple, and that's Marcelino and Brittany. So since I said their name, let's just go in and jump in and get started with them. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share and subscribe. All right, Lego, comment along as I give my recap. First, we start off with a pregnant Brittany going to see her old best friend slash girlfriend, Amanda, girl. So Brittany goes to see Amanda, and when Amanda opens the door, Amanda is shocked that Brittany is pregnant. She hasn't talked nor seen Brittany in a few months, and Brittany didn't even tell the girl she was pregnant. So that's how much Brittany cut ties with Amanda. And I kind of felt good about that situation. She really needed to give Amanda a breather. They needed to really separate and discover and find out what they do and do not mean to each other. And now they're at a good place where they understand that. Brittany's basically like, look, I didn't want any drama. I know you didn't believe the fact that I was serious about Marcelino, but I was. And so that's why we needed that separation. I'm tired, I'm pregnant, and I just didn't have any time for any drama. And Amanda's like, cool. And then Amanda's little confessional was like, you know what? I didn't make up what happened between me and Brittany. If you saw all of the love letters and all of the things that she said to me, she asked me to wait for her, all this stuff. So when Marcelino was all of a sudden in the picture, no, I didn't believe it. Everything that she had said to me would never lead me to believe that she would end up pregnant and about to be married to a man. I thought I was going to be with Brittany. I can see where Amanda's coming from, and I really don't think Amanda started any drama, but I do like that she allowed herself to be filmed for this. It really did give their storyline an extra layer, and it was good TV. So Brittany and Amanda talk about the pending wedding, and Amanda says, you have my address. If you want to invite me, you're more than welcome to. Then the next scene we have with them is Bunky picking up Brittany, and Bunky has already picked up her sisters, I guess, from the airport, and they're gonna go to the venue and get ready. This wedding happened very quickly. Apparently it happened 7 months after she got out of prison. So she got pregnant quick, they decided to get married, and 7 months later they get married, and then 9 months later, spoiler alert, they have a baby. Bunky is a little reserved. She's not quite sure that this is the right move. She feels like Brittany might be jumping into this a little bit and jumping the gun. She doesn't quite know about this, but she's willing to support her friend as long as her friend is in it. So then we cut over to Marcelino and his boys, and they have this whole like montage of them walking into the venue. Honestly, I would have to say that this show was like a really good memory for Marcelino and Brittany. Like, they can show their kids this and not be too, I mean, Brittany may be a little like shady, right? But I think that the fact that they had a camera crew document this journey for them is actually kind of cool, because it's a crazy journey, and out of the 5 couples, they're the only ones that actually worked out. And that's honestly because Brittany wasn't a lunatic. Like, all of the other couples, the prison person was not good. Was just not. I mean, and sometimes the person on the other end wasn't good either. So I think that while they may have issues and butt heads, I think that Brittany is such a thinker, and she's somebody who I think, yeah, I feel like she's had a lot of therapy, like honestly, and she's really using those tools to her advantage. The wedding was beautiful. The vows were great. Marcelino could barely get his vows out. He was like crying, and I was just like all choked up, and I felt really happy for them. Brittany got her father to come down, her stepfather to come down and walk her down the aisle. It ended happy for them. His friend Gabriel had some like really crazy sunglasses on. I was like, everybody in that car had really cool sunglasses except for Gabriel. I was like, Gabriel, you know this is not 98, right? You know that those like wasp eye glasses aren't cool. Everybody else had the square Ray-Bans on, and you the only one with them like 90s glasses that people hang on the back of their neck when they're not wearing them. Come on, bruh. And then we had Giovanni, who was like the cutest thing. So Giovanni had his own little confessional, and the producers were asking him how he felt about the wedding, and he said that he was excited, and his job was to bear the ring, and that's what he was gonna do. And then, but he also couldn't really wait to meet his little sister. And the producer was like, little sister, what are you talking about? He's like, the little sister in my mama's stomach, duh. Where you been? So we got the gender reveal from Giovanni, and he had a cute moment with Marcelino where they were dancing. I I mean, the whole wedding situation, it was cute. It was red and white. It came together very nicely, very quickly. She came down the aisle to a violinist. I mean, it made me happy because I felt like Marcelino had savings or a good line of credit, girl, because they were able to cobble together a good little wedding in very short notice. I mean, I know they are in Vegas, and Vegas is kind of known for that, but I didn't think anything looked too shabby. It was quite nice. That white suit, it's a choice. You know, it was a choice. Giovanni had his whole face in the cake. I just couldn't have been more happy for them. And Brittany was saying that she never thought marriage was something that was in the cards for her. I'm actually really happy for her. There are girls who imagine like wedding dresses and like imagine what their wedding is gonna be, but like that is so far from my experience with dating and relationships that like I literally can't even imagine that happening to me. For her to have that wedding just made me so happy for her. Because she had a rough go at it. 2 kids before the age of 17, meth, jail, having to leave her baby, and then coming out. Do you know that this last baby is her 4th child? Like, what that must feel like to have 2 kids that you know hide nor hair of, have a 3rd, then get sent to prison. And now you get to come out and do it all over again. And I think Brittany's like 24 or 25 years old. That's a lot. That's a lot of life lived before the age of 24. You feel me? Like, so I really do wish Brittany and Marcelino the absolute best. Okay, so let's move on to the next couple. The next couple we're gonna talk about is Matt and Caitlyn. Now, this ended exactly the way it should have. I'm really sad for Caitlyn that she feels some kind of way, but girl, you did not need Matt. He was an absolute waste of your time. You started talking to him for superficial, stupid reasons, and this is the outcome of you wasting your time with an idiot. Okay? An idiot. He lied to you. He thought he wanted something that he knew nothing of, and then he came out and acted a plumb fool. And I'm really sorry that you had to go through this while grieving for your mother. But listen, you're better than that WT life girl, and that's all Matt was gonna give you. You speak too well. You got all your teeth. I felt like you was trying to like live some like fantasy. You got a kid. Go figure out your life with your kid. Mourn your mother and do you. And don't be worrying about him with his little tweaker trap house shit. We left off with Caitlyn staying at the hotel. So Caitlyn decides to go back to Matt's mom's house to kind of get some direction and understanding from Kathy. They're sitting around talking about what the worst case scenario is, what this situation could possibly turn out to be. And Kathy is basically like, look, you two are not getting along and you are making decisions based on fantasies. And I need you to come into reality. And here's the reality. My son is a fuck up, okay? I don't know what happens after somebody posts bail because I have never posted bail for him. And you need to think about the fact that this person might be in jail for 10 years. You're basically gonna be a prison wife. Like, I love him, but I'm not doing this. And I don't think what you two are doing makes any sense. And Caitlyn is like, well, I mean, I still love him and I don't want to give up on him. And I just want to see, you know, like what's going to happen. I don't have any money. And then she has a conversation with Matt where Matt is acting all entitled. His first thing to her is like, so you going to bail me out? And she's like, I don't know. Like, I would have to see what they say today. And he's like, just answer the question, yes or no. You going to bail me out? I got to get out of here. I can't be in here anymore. And I'm just like, if you couldn't be in here anymore, then why are you driving stolen cars? Matt gonna say that he didn't know the car was stolen, that he sort of rented it from someone. I'm sorry, what? So there's like black market car rentals right now to where Matt went and rented a car. He sort of rented it from somebody and it was stolen and he didn't know that. But then my next thought is like, where are you driving and what are you doing? Why are you getting pulled over? I'm all over the place, but y'all saw the episode, so you know what I'm talking about. Caitlyn and Kathy go to the hearing. And they list off all of the things that is up for this fool. At first I hear $25,000 bail, right? And then I'm just like, dang, $25,000 bail? That sounds right. The prosecution is looking at his rap sheet and they're like, well, the felon has, I'm gonna read it, I can't even do it. 10 plus felon convictions, 15 failures to report, unlawful possession of a firearm, and 15 FTA and the eluding and escape charge. And then the court is like, well, seeing as how that is the case, the bond is set at $7,500. Because if that were Michael, with 10 plus felons, 15 failures to report, 15 times this person was supposed to report and he didn't. Michael didn't report twice on time and his ass got sent back to jail. And Matt is coming out of jail. Now, I know they're two different judicial systems because they're from two different states, and Michael's crime was carjacking with a deadly weapon or whatever when he was 15. But this grown-ass man has 10 plus felonies, and they let his ass go for $7,500 in bail. Eluding an escape. Okay. Maybe I don't know the law well enough, and so I know some of you are going to be in the comment section telling me the error of my ways, but I do not care because that sentencing is not right. Matt should have he should have the $25,000 bail. Is what he should have. And his family should have to come out of their pockets $2,500 to get him out. And the court is like, oh, I don't think he's gonna go anywhere and do anything. He'll be fine. Okay. But if he were black, anyways, I can't even get into it. I'm upset. Caitlyn figures out the money situation. Her and Kathy have a conversation later that evening. Caitlyn says, well, the worst case scenario is that he takes the money and runs. And guess what he does? Takes the money and run. He gets bail and doesn't see Caitlyn for a smooth week. He gonna hang out over there hanging out with thick-necked Sam, trying to figure his life out. This woman done bailed him out of prison, and he has decided, of his own accord, I guess, that they were broken up. Maybe they had a conversation, and he was like, I'm not coming, I don't care. And she just thought he was gonna be an adult and come back and duke it out with her, but he didn't. He ran like a child, hung out with his friends, and then came back to the house to pick up a few items. Not to come back to officially break it off with her or have that conversation, to pick up a few items. And Caitlyn can't, the girl is beside herself. She can't even get it out. She's trying to keep it together, and she's like, so, oh, you just came to pick up a few items. I thought that we were gonna talk like adults, but I guess not. And he's like, I don't even know what he said, girl. I was pissed. I was like, girl, Caitlyn, finish packing your bags. Finish folding your clothes. So she does, and she goes outside and she's smoking a cigarette, and she like, you know what? I'm sorry that this didn't work. I'm sorry that I did everything that I could. I'm sorry. I really tried. I loved you, and I'm sorry that you don't care. And Matt's like, I think we just jumped the gun, and I think that it was too much for the both of us, and, we moved too fast. I'm like, you the one who asked her to marry you with a ring flower. You the one who did all that. You the one who told her that you would come out and you wanted to do this, that, and the other, feeding her all these dreams and things that you knew you didn't even know nothing about, girl. She tried to get y'all a home, and you couldn't even make decisions because being on the outside is hard. Let's not even go in it. We already know that Matt is a piece of trash and that his mom done given up on him, and obviously if somebody's mama gives up on them, they ain't worth shit. So there's that. Caitlyn and Matt are still broken up. She drove away crying and bawling her little eyes out, but she needed to go on and live her life for her. Matt is living with his new girlfriend awaiting trial. So the next couple that we're going to talk about is Clint and Traci. Okay, my goddess is getting out of jail, girl. So we have a scene where Traci gets on a bus and the camera crew is in the bus. Okay, I'm so surprised everywhere that Sharp Entertainment is allowed to be in. Like, they were even in the courtroom with Caitlyn and Kathy. I'm just like, damn, they be just letting anybody film anywhere. She gets on the bus and she's like, I hope Clint is there to pick me up. I know I did him wrong, and I got let out of prison because of overpopulation, and I just was in this tiny cell. I couldn't be there. She's explaining the whole thing to us, and she is looking a saggy-faced mess, okay? She looks so old. Losing 40 pounds has aged her at least 5 years. She wasn't eating, so she says she lost a bunch of weight, but girl, like, she must be tiny. She must be really short, because 40 pounds look like 60 pounds to me. She looked like she lost a lot of weight. And she just says she wasn't eating, girl. She looks bad. She looked bad. She's like, ooh, I had a beautiful wedding dress on the last time Clint saw me. And now I know he likes a bigger woman, and I just hope he likes me. And I'm just like, first of all, that dress wasn't beautiful. Second of all, was you really that thick? I don't know, girl. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't the most... She was regular. I don't know. I didn't think she was that thick. But I guess she's just really, really tiny now. Yeah, girl, she was tiny. That's more than 40 pounds. That has to be more than 40 pounds. She need to get 20 back. So she's on the bus dressing and changing her clothes, trying to look cute for Clint. She gets dropped off at Hobbs city limits, waiting for Clint to pull up. And Clint does pull up back into that black, like, fast car and no longer in the blue truck. So Clint got cars, I suppose. Hugs her and they like smash into each other to where I'm like, ooh, it's like bone on bone. It looked like it hurt. And he lifts her up and is holding her and is so grateful and so happy. And I guess they've been back together now for a few weeks and he just loves his goddess so much. He gets down on his knees and proposes to her with the same ring. And Traci got a fairy tale too, bro. As a woman, I'm still happy for Traci. I'm happy that she found this idiot to love her and call her a goddess and come and rescue her. Like, can someone come rescue me? Not Clint, please. Not anyone like him or in the vicinity of him. She says to him, I want to have a baby. And I'm like, no, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. I need for Sharp Entertainment to call Protective Child Services. I know it hasn't happened yet, but this woman has not gotten the help she needed. She is probably not drug free. I don't know if the picture of her trying to sell her ring for crack is something that we saw it. So no. Someone called Child Protective Service. She doesn't need to get pregnant. They get back to the house. It's a dinky little one-car garage, brown grass, a house, but it's still a house. He had a house for her. You walk in, the furniture is all hodgepodgey. There are wires everywhere. 2 mattresses on top of each other. He got a hand-me-down like boudoir. I'm just like, the house needs a woman's touch. I don't know if that woman is Traci, but it needs Alice to come in there and help fix that house up. But it's still a house. She got carried over the threshold. She starts to take off her clothes, girl, and it's just like TMI. You notice they haven't actually given us too much TMI this last part of the season, thank God. Ugh, that first part, girl, every day, every episode was like, and it was just too much. It was too much. So the conclusion of their relationship is they're still together. Haley fired Clint. Clint is no longer working at the hotel. He's now working at his parents' meat deli. And he and Traci are hoping to renew their vows in front of friends and family. Okay. So the next couple that we're gonna talk about is the throuple. You have been waiting for it. This was the best showdown on television in a reality show that I have ever seen, and we were here for it. If you were a part of the live, we were here for all of it. Let's jump right in. That's Meghan, not Markle, Michael and Sarah. Sarah shows up. Meghan is sitting in the lobby of the hotel. She got her hair braided back as if something is about to pop off. And then we find out that she's mad pregnant. That she's like 5-6 months pregnant. She's showing pregnant. So now we know there isn't going to be a fight, which is why we know now that she said if there is a fight that she's absolutely lost her mind. Because she's really pregnant. She don't have time for that. And I'm like, thank God. She sits down. Sarah's ready for action. She has come there completely angry and defensive and wanting to stand her ground in a way that was completely unnecessary. She's like, so who do you think I am? No. Why don't you tell me who you are? Because you're not about to sit up here and question me. You're pregnant. And we're married. I know you've been wedding dress shopping, planning a wedding. I did that. You was in my car. That Chrysler 300, that was my car. Okay? I had every reason to trust this man, and you didn't. Okay? I was with him for 6-7 years. Okay? I had a kid with him. He married me. He got on one knee and proposed to me. He sleeps with me every night. Were you at his release? First of all, you don't tell me who or how or why or where I'm supposed to trust somebody. You don't tell me that you have every right to do all this stuff. Oh, this is a terrible thing. Yeah, it is a terrible thing because you are very immature, and that's clear. So I'm immature because I'm a grown-ass wife with 2 kids by some man who sat there and lied to me and you, but I'm immature? Why are you yelling? Because you're acting just like Michael. I can see why you two like each other. Y'all want to sit around and blame somebody else because you can't take responsibility for situations because you're humiliated. How is she like Michael? She literally is not blaming you for anything. She didn't say anything was your fault. You got played. You decide, bitch. That's it. I got played, and that's fine. But you're continuously getting played because you're still with his ass. Check. I'm good. I'm done. I don't want her here. I don't want her in New York. Send her home. You don't have no say, bitch. How in the hell is you representing the whole state of New York? Don't talk to me like that, for real, for real. Or what? Or what? I'm not gonna do nothing dumb. I'm pregnant. I'm a classy bitch. Yeah, I'm sure you are. You the side bitch. You the mistress in this situation. Okay, well, you're gonna let me finish. No, I'm not gonna let you finish because I didn't know about you. He didn't tell me where he was living. He didn't tell me that you guys were together. He didn't tell me that you guys were married. And he didn't tell me that you were pregnant. I did not know about you. So I don't understand why you were coming at me sideways. Bitch, I did not know about you. She didn't know about you, Sarah. Take that information and redirect your anger, please. This is my husband you're talking about. Right, okay. But your husband has been on the phone with me. I don't give a fuck what my husband did. I will deal with it my way. I'll let you deal with it then. If this bitch say that she a wife who has a husband one more time, you know, I just can't understand how you can't have a conversation woman to woman. Go ahead. Play it up. If I was the girl and you were the wife, I would tell you whatever you wanted to know. I would shut my mouth because I know that you deserve it. I would just let you say whatever and answer all your questions. What do you want to know? You keep cutting me off. I didn't know about you. Well then sit there and shut up. No, I'm not gonna sit here and shut the hell up. And I don't care if everybody's talking because you're not gonna sit up here and talk to me any kind of way. Well, clearly he has a different taste in women. Yeah, very clearly. You wanna sit up here and make it a racial joke, bitch? Bitch, you don't have shit to do with you being white. It's your class, hoe. I don't care that you're white. Oh, I'm a hoe? Can somebody please make her stop? Because I have been sitting here listening quietly and I don't have time for this bullshit. I'm a mom. I'm a strong woman and I'm a mom. She doesn't know what it's like to be a mom. What does you being a mom have to do with anything? At the end of the day, I didn't do this. Nobody did this. Michael did this. Let me get this clear. You came to me rudely, which is why I came at you the way I came at you. I'm not into being a homewrecker. If I had known about you, this would have never happened. Why can't you just come at me respectfully and give me answers? Bitch, you didn't ask her no questions. The last question you asked her was, who do you think I am? So Sarah thinks that she has more of a right to be angry than Megan does. So then after that, they go and sit down and have a more civilized conversation where Sarah asks all the questions that she wanted to ask and didn't ask and told Megan she was avoiding. And Megan responded to the questions that were never asked that she wasn't avoiding. And it just turns out that these are two hurt women who are having to deal with the drama and the foolery of this idiot that they've both put their faith into, and they were both wrong to do so. Megan is too old to have fallen into this trap, and I could see why Sarah did what she did and behaved the way she behaved because she's 24, she's pregnant, she's with her second child from this idiot who has made her look stupid on national television and in front of her family. But she didn't have to come at Megan like that. And I think Megan was poised, stood her ground, lived her life. I was here for Megan all the way. But Megan was sad after this, girl. Every confessional after this, mama is sad. She feels defiled. She wasted her time, her virginity. So Sarah leaves Megan. Megan says that she's glad that Michael is in prison because if he had not been in prison, she would have absolutely killed him and she would have been in prison. Sarah then has a phone conversation with Michael where she asks Michael about Megan. Michael denies it and says that he never set it up to where they could confront each other. So he's a little bit annoyed at production, but that's what their job is. She goes on to tell him that she was the best thing that he ever had and ever will have, and that he had everything at his fingertips. He had the world by the ass, which is a weird saying that I've never heard. Also a weird saying that I have never heard is I will facilitate the money, which is what Caitlyn says about getting money for Matt's bail. You facilitate the funds? What'd she say? It was something crazy that didn't make any sense. You can't facilitate funds, Caitlyn. And she's like basically telling Michael that this was his opportunity at redemption and now all he is a statistic and a cliche and living up to everybody's expectations except for hers because she only had good expectations for him, and that she was basically his savior who was there to pull him out of the muckety muck and bring him on into glory, providing a house, a car, and stability for him, laying out his life on a silver platter, and all he had to do was take the platter and hold it, but he couldn't even do that. And this is what Michael says later on when he has his final thoughts. He doesn't know what it's like to be a husband. He doesn't know what a wife means. He's never seen any example of that. And he just tried to do something and he failed at it, and he never meant to hurt anybody. Now, first of all, he knows right from wrong and he knows lie from the truth. So I don't believe all that. But what I do believe is that Michael has no concept of what he was getting himself into and no concept of what Sarah was asking of him. When you don't have an example of what that looks like, when you can't see past the week, past the month, when you don't have no real goals for yourself in life, like, there is no way that you are going to be able to change around that mentality. He didn't grow up like Sarah, and it's going to be really hard unless he has it within himself to change that. And the fact that he went to jail when Aviana was born or whatever meant that she needed to wash her hands of him then. Okay? If you get out of jail and then go back into jail, it's done for you. You get one time. That is it. One time to make that mistake. You get out, you go back, it's over. This is a PSA for all the young girls out there. If he goes into jail twice, he is not worth your time. Because you can go to jail once. Very little will end a black man up in jail. So you can give him that. But if he goes back, nah sis, he don't love himself and he's never gonna love you. So anyways, they talk a little bit about Aviana. He's worried about Aviana. And I'm like, don't be worried about Aviana. You wasn't worried about Aviana when you were late to this appointment, when you were trying to double deal with Megan and Sarah. You wasn't worried about Aviana. And then he gonna say in his little last bit that when he got with Sarah and started living with her and Aviana, that's when he started to get confused about Megan. And that initially he had planned on leaving and being with Megan. But he was just gonna mess Megan's life up. I feel like he probably didn't want the pressure of being with Sarah because Sarah wanted all these things for him, and perhaps Megan wasn't going to want those things. Also, Megan was going to elevate him, and I don't know why he didn't think that Sarah was trying to do the same thing. If he couldn't do it with Sarah, he sure wasn't going to do it with Megan, because Megan got a black daddy that wasn't about to deal with his nonsense. Sure wasn't, because when Megan got back to her black daddy had this weird thing, was like, what are you doing back? He knew she was coming back. He had a whole ass camera crew in his house. He knew she was coming. But then when Megan dropped the bomb and started crying, girl, daddy went into full effect and was like, if I see that snake, I'm cutting off his head. And I was like, tell the truth, shame the devil. Get him, because you're not bringing that into this house. I'm gonna tell you right now, there is one thing that black men fear more than anything else, is a no good ass nigga with their daughter, because he's done what he needed to do to bring the family to stability, live this American dream in this life. He got a house, he got a wife, he got kids, he got cars, he got credit. You gonna let this knucklehead into this life and he's not gonna be appreciative and not gonna understand his role? Girl, Megan's black daddy was mad. But he hugged his daughter, told her that she doesn't need to have anything to do with Michael. And Megan's like, I need some answers. And I felt Megan on that. I do think she needed some answers, some closure. And she didn't get it though, because during the confessionals, he was like, I don't feel like answering these questions right now. I don't have time to answer these questions. He did that whole I don't have time to answer these questions business. And she was just like, cool, and hung up on him. And I was like, thank God. You can't even answer whether or not you're married. The answer is yes or no. In conclusion, he's out of prison. Sarah had the baby. Both Sarah and Megan are still in contact with Michael. So I don't even care about the situation. Megan can live her life if she wants to. So the last couple we're going to talk about is Lizzie and Scott. So Lizzie and Scott ended up the exact way that you thought it would end up. Scott is laying in the bed face down. Lizzie hasn't been able to contact him for a couple of hours, and she gets into the room and he's upset about her spending $2,000 and mad at her, and basically tells her that the reason why he doesn't have any money is because he spent it all on her. And she's just like, well, if you knew you didn't have any money, why did you let me spend it? Why didn't you tell me the truth? And he's just like, because then you would leave. And she's like, so you were trying to hold the money over on me. So that's not my fault. And then they do a soundbite situation that makes it seem like Lizzie tells him that if you don't have any money, then I'm gonna leave because I don't need you. And that is absolutely fraud. It did not happen that way. If they don't have those words coming out of her mouth where I can see it, I don't believe it happened. She's like, I don't need you for your money, Scott. I don't need you for your money. And then she like makes him look at her. That's when they splice that together. Because what she is saying is, you think I need you, or you think that I'm here for this money. But what you don't know and what you need to know is that I don't need you for your money. And the fact that you lied to me is a problem. And now you're in debt and you're trying to blame me for the fact that you're in debt. You are the one who gave me all this money. You are the one who did all the things that you did. And then he's trying to say, because you would have left me. And she's like, That is not a reason for a grown-ass man to go into debt. We barely know each other. You've proposed to me after 2 days. Lizzie goes back to Scott to have the conversation about the money and about them being together. She, in between, tells Jasmine that he doesn't have any money and that he's trying to blame her for the fact that he doesn't have any money. And finally, she goes back up, she talks to Scott, and she gives him back the ring. And it's like, you proposed to me too soon. You didn't have your shit together. Take this ring back. And he's like, well, can we? I'm not going to leave you. And she's like, no, I'm telling you to leave me. You have to leave me. We are no longer together. I am no longer your woman. And he gets upset and he starts to like cry. And she's like, we can still be friends. And he's like, friends? So we're going to go all the way back down to being friends? And she's like, yeah, we can have a long distance friendship. Like, I need to be with my family. I can't do this. You lied to me. She wants a long distance friendship which is hilarious. This is so hilarious. That is the rudest thing I've ever heard. And he's like, I lied to you to keep you. And he's like, would you have stayed if I didn't have any money? And she's just like, well, no response. So he just like gets upset. He grabs his bag. He goes to the bathroom. He throws his cell phone into the bathroom. There's already a cigarette in the toilet and I guess the ring. And she's just like flabbergasted that he got up and bounced. Like flabbergasted. She's like, where's he going? What is he gonna do? This is crazy. Like, where are you going? I'm like, what did you expect him to do, Lizzie? And she's like, oh, I guess, well, I hope everything is paid up. And we all know that Scott didn't pay for that room because he goes outside and he's like, tell Sarah to get me a flight home. I just want to go home. So he feels dumb. But here's the deal. Scott set himself up for this. He shouldn't have thrown all this money at Lizzie. That's on him. He's a grown-ass man. He made choices. He spent all his money. He didn't have to. As soon as he realized that he was going into debt for Lizzie, he should have walked away and said, no, I can't do anything until you get out, and then risk losing her. But he purposely went after a woman in prison because he felt like he couldn't find a woman on the outside. He went after somebody who would rely on him hand and foot. And then when she got out of prison was expecting things from her. And then she didn't give it to him. And then now he wants to hold that over her neck. So all the money spent wasn't worth it because she didn't have sex with him. That is on him. He got played and he let her do it. He was trying to take advantage of someone who was vulnerable. And Lizzie, had she already not been street smart and tricky, would have been vulnerable to that because she didn't have anything and everything she had would have been owed to him. And she ended up taking that car, girl, because we see later on, 2 months later, you know, he's back at his place. She's wherever she is in Wisconsin. She's got a job and she's driving that little car. She sure did take that car. He left that car. I don't feel sorry for Scott, not at all. Now he's got himself a new woman. Her name is Jasmine. He don't have to wear the fake teeth. And he's outside raking his dirt yard. And she gonna bring him a towel. Like, okay, girl. And everyone's like, oh, Lizzie did him so wrong. Lizzie didn't do him that wrong. She did him dirts McGirts, but nothing that he didn't allow to happen because Scott is a grown-ass man. So don't for 1 second try to come for Lizzie. She just did what she normally does, is use men for money, which is how she knows how to survive. She said she was living in a fantasy. Living in a fantasy, my own little nasty world. Tonight, don't you want to come with me? See, I'm a nasty girl. Like, she was living in this fantasy, thought she was gonna come out and spend all this man's money, and turned out he didn't have any money, and she was like, not with that face. I'm out. And Jasmine is really happy because they're able to work on their relationship, which is all Jasmine has wanted from her from the beginning, is to ditch Scott, be her own woman. And, you know, Lizzie was like, I need his money. And she got it. And a car, which is the most important part of that, is a car. Anyways, that's the end of their segment. It was crazy. She got a bad edit at the last minute, and I didn't like that, but it is what it is. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a comment down below. I don't know what else I'm gonna do, but I do know that 90 Day Fiancé is coming back April 28th. Love After Lockup is coming back this summer, and then we have The Bachelorette. So my plate is going to be full. I will be doing my morning teas every Wednesday at noon. That's noon Pacific Standard Time if you guys want to get some Wahima action. But I guess I'm only going to be putting up 1 video a week until all those shows come back. Girl, that is 7 weeks. That's a long time. So come and join me Wednesdays at noon and we'll live it up. We'll talk about current events. Email me at justcallmewa@gmail.com so that I can know what topics you want me to talk about. It's been so great, you guys. I want to thank you so much for rocking with me this entire season. I'm gonna miss you guys, but again, I will still be posting videos. I will still be on YouTube, so drop by and say hello. All right, you guys, let's have a kiki and a conversation in the comment section. Let me know what you think about each of these couples. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and check out these videos. I put them up here so you guys can click on them and check them out. So check out these videos. All right, you guys, remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.